Sam, before we sort of get into this weekend's fixture, let's start with a little recap of the past week or so. We'll start with Morecambe. It was a tough battle, fell just short. What were your main takeaways from that on the day?
Morecambe was a real tough challenge, and I think probably on paper looked a little bit false with them being where they are in the table at the moment. But for me, footballing wise, they were the best team that we've played this season, and that's credit to them and credit to Ashford and what he's done with the squad. They're adding players into their group every week. They're spending a lot of money, obviously a lot in comparison to us. But of course that takes time to gel, and they've adapted and gelled really quickly. I thought against us that was probably their best performance they've had so far. I think for us on the day, I think we know we wasn't good enough where we expect ourselves to be, and the standards that we've set in the season so far. I think in general across the 90 minutes, I think if we were to get the draw out of the game, it probably would have flattered us a little bit. I think on the general consensus of the game, I think they were the better side. We done so well to get back 3-3. Just a little bit of naivety to concede that fourth goal. But, we looked at it, we assessed it, watched it back, and I think, the boys, definitely had a comeback and a reply and a reaction on Wednesday.
And then Wednesday, you mentioned it there, it was quite a battle. I think a lot of the reaction online, people were quite content with the point. Both could have gone either way, really. What did you make of it?
I was really pleased with the reaction on Wednesday. I think we knew that Tamworth, with them being probably the most direct side in the division, and that's a huge compliment to them. And what they do, they're very good at what they do. They're very direct. They have a certain style. Any chance of putting the ball into the box, they do so. And I think probably a lot of people probably critiqued and assumed that we wouldn't be able to have that side of our game. I think across the 90 minutes, I think we defended our box really well, and that was very pleasing because we looked at that on the Monday tactically and what we needed to do. I thought some of the boys that came into the side were fantastic, that hadn't played minutes in a while. Junior Tiensia, I thought the reaction that he showed to come back into the side was fantastic. Big Moose, yet again, was colossal for us at the back, along with Woody and Philip Chinedu. And I think Dylan Kadji is also coming off the bench early for young Massey. I thought he done a great job. I think from 1 to 11, I thought we was fantastic defensively. Unfortunately, we conceded when we had 10 men on the pitch. Funnily enough, Big Chinedu was off the pitch when they scored. So that was a tough one. But I thought we had a chance to win it at the end with Shauna Darkwa. So I thought the boys were fantastic in general. So good point, I think.
In the recent couple of weeks, teams kind of had to show quite a lot of resilience in games. How do you feel they've reacted to the pressure being on?
Our boys? I think, we are a young squad. It is a new squad that we've put together, as everybody knows. And we know there's going to be moments in games where, we're going to be under pressure for the way that we play and our style and the way that we're asking the boys to do things. It is pressure, but I think at this level you have to be able to absorb that. And some of these young players, they're doing so well, and they're learning that they're taking on board. Some of them it's their first loan, some of them first exposure to National League football. And I do generally feel with the players that we put together, with the resources that we've been given, we have to give these boys huge credit, and they're doing so well. And I think where we're sitting in the table, mid-table, do we feel like we should have more points on the board? Yes, and I think that's a testament to see how far that we've come. I think every game that we've come up, we've expected to get something out of the game, and that's including the likes of Rochdales and Carlisle. So, a huge credit to these boys. They're doing really well.
You kind of mentioned it there, but we're 11 games into the season now, sitting on 14 points, is it?
Yeah.
How do you feel the squad is coming together from the start of the season to now? How do you feel you're developing as a team?
Yeah, we're growing every session. Every session, these boys are picking up something new, whether that be tactically or technically. And also, I think the camaraderie of the group, we've done really well, because I think it's really difficult as a manager when you're putting a new group together. You don't necessarily know how they're going to click. And I was very big on personality and characters, the right characters coming into the building. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come together all of a sudden. But there's definitely a camaraderie in the group, and I think that's probably been shown and evident in games. Even Morecambe, the other game, we're 3-0 down, and we've come back to 3-3. I think the amount of goals that we scored in the 80th to 90th minute has been vast, and I think we've been excellent with that. And I think that's a testament to the group and how well they've come together. But yeah, I think day by day, game by game, they're improving. Will there be mistakes? Of course, we expect that. If we was all the end product, they would all be playing in the Premier League, but they're not. We're learning, and they've got huge potential to develop and grow in their own careers individually, and as a collective, we're pressing in the right direction.
And then moving on to Saturday now, Eastleigh at home. They're a side coming off a win, but their form, a loss, a draw, a win. What do you expect from them? What they're going to bring to the Vale? Yeah,
I think it's always a tough one. The new manager bounce. Scott Bartlett's come in, who was doing a fantastic job at Western, and we saw on Wednesday night reaction that they had, getting the 3 points. I thought they were very good, and they showed an energy and enthusiasm, probably which they'd may have not necessarily had at the start of the season. So we know it's going to be a tough encounter, and they've got quality in their squad. And we know that they're going to be a threat, so we're prepared for that. Our boys, we've done a lot on the grass today, a lot tactically, in how we feel we're going to go about the game, but we know it's going to be tough, and there's going to be a lot of emotion surrounding it. And I think with the midweek game that we had as well, we have to just manage the players' load-ins as well. So maybe a few changes, but everybody's chomping at the bit and waiting for their opportunity.
In terms of squad news, we announced the other day, signed Olafella Olamola.
Yeah.
A couple of players injured at the minute. It's a new striker, new depths to the squad, but there's also a nice moment between you two. You said almost about time.
Yeah.
It's finally here.
Yeah.
You must be happy with that one.
Yeah, I mean, fellas, he's fantastic. He's fantastic for the group. He's fantastic for this football club. Obviously, having previously been here, he brings not only the experience but the quality which we need, and just another attacking option which is going to support our group as well. I think not only he's been brought in to make the group better, but he's going to make individuals better as well with his experience. For the likes of Obiero, Sean, who are still young in their career, really and truly. He's going to help with that, with the certain movements and just his experience, and lending that knowledge and wisdom that he's had from playing in the Football League and his time here previously. So yeah, he's going to add the quality that we require, and the standards on and off the pitch, he sets them to a T. So I'm buzzing to have him on board, and you could already see he's fitting like a glove. So really happy with that one.
And then just finishing off with some injury updates. Unfortunately, we did lose Alfie Massey on Wednesday.
Yeah.
A few more boys training today. How's the current setup looking?
Yeah, unfortunately, Massey picked up an injury, which is unfortunate for him and us, because he's been an absolute revelation for us. And we go back to about the recruitment and the type of player that we wanted. He was someone that we had our eyes on from the moment we came into the building. So he's done fantastic for us, and now it's our responsibility now just to help him and guide him to full recovery, along with going back to his parent club Millwall for now to do his rehab. But he's been great for us. But as you say, we've got players on the return. Nathan Young-Cume's trained with us today. McAvoy made his first appearance on the bench on Wednesday. So we're nursing people back to full fitness. Cookie, obviously, dealing with his niggles. That's going to be one that we need to manage acutely, and he'll do that. The professional that Cookie is, obviously team captain, he'll make sure he's doing everything that he can to get back as soon as possible. But yeah, we're managing everything with the support of Luke Malloy, S&C, and Georgie. They're doing everything and making sure the boys are robust enough to deal with the load-ins of the game model. So.